how to ignore the 3D, how to manifest what you want even if things aren't going in your way. I manifested something recently that I generally didn't think was going to work out, and originally it didn't. But I persisted anyway, and that's exactly what I'm about to teach you. So if you're new here, hello Manifestor, it's Manifesting Charlotte. You will love it here, so make sure you subscribe and carry on watching the rest of the video. Manifestation mentor for a lot of people, and what a lot of people ask me is, Charlotte, things aren't, looking my way. Can I still manifest? You can manifest whatever you desire. If you desire a relationship to work out, but they just said that they're going to break up with you, you can still manifest it. If your business doesn't look so successful right now and you want to manifest more sales in the next week, you can still do that. And I'm going to share an experience that happened to me where I thought this circumstance was not going to go my way until I changed my way of thinking and I manifested the desired outcome, even when my physical reality had told me no. Manifesting for you is effortless and it's going to be fun. It's exciting to manifest. You manifest all the time. So all we are doing in my videos, in my manifestation workshop, you can grab in the description below if you want to become a pro master manifestor and join the best community in this universe. That will be the link in the description on how you can become a total master manifestor and manifest things really quickly. Is you are always manifesting. All we are doing is tweaking your mindset so you can actually start manifesting the things that you do want. Recently something had happened and I thought something wasn't going to go my way. There was this circumstance, and every other time this circumstance was presented in my life, everyone around me said, no, this isn't going to work. It wasn't questioned, right? I'm not going to go into the details, but I'm just going to give you an example. For it wasn't even talked about if it was ever going to happen, right? I was always being told no, and this circumstance just didn't look like it was going to happen. I knew the law of thought transmission is a very real thing. And if you don't know what the law of thought transmission, I would say it is the most profound thing I know in this entire universe, and it's the thoughts that you're thinking aren't private, okay? So people are also thinking about them. This is why I always talk about how self-concept is so important, because how you view yourself, other people will view you exactly like that. Neville Goddard, a very powerful master manifestor, also said that everyone is you pushed out. Everyone is just a mirror of what you are doing to yourself. So even in secret, when I used to judge myself and say certain things about myself, people in my reality the next day would say the exact same things, word for word. And similarly now, when I say positive affirmations to myself, people reflect the exact same affirmations back to me. This also works when you are assuming and expecting someone to say something. So with this circumstance that I was trying to manifest, I had expected the people around me to say, no, it's not gonna happen, and this is what happened every other time. But this time, I decided to choose different. This time, I decided manifestation is meant to be easy and effortless. This time, I decided that this is my world, this is your world. It's meant to be exciting, fun, and you're meant to understand your power. You are way more powerful than you can even imagine right now. That's for another video. But I knew the law of thought transmission is a very real thing. Sometimes when you think about someone, they think about you. Have you ever thought about someone, they call you, or have you ever thought about something and the person next to you thinks the exact same thing? It could be the most randomest thing, right? Or when you was in class, when you thought about something and somebody else said it. Regardless of this, I use the law of thought transmission, and instead of me thinking these thoughts that, oh, they're gonna say this and they're gonna say this, I started to think differently. I started to imagine this person actually saying the opposite to me. So this is something that I want you all to do if you're trying to manifest something, especially if you're trying to manifest somebody to say something to you. Instead of imagining hearing their voice saying all these negative stuff, saying that they're not gonna be with you or they're not gonna pay you, I imagine them differently, and that is continuously changing my life. How you imagine people is exactly how they show up. I'm going to repeat that. How you imagine people is exactly how you show up. This thing, I thought that someone in the group chat didn't like me, and I kept in it, and every time I sent a message, I expected, and I waited online, and I expected that person wouldn't reply back, or I expected them to say something not very nice. Guess what? They always showed up like that. But I decided, what am I doing? I'm expecting and assuming that they're not gonna like me, and that's exactly what was reflected. So I decided to use the law of thought transmission and imagine them differently. I imagined them lovingly. I imagined them actually replying to me and saying lovely things about me. That the more this person changed, and this person is a completely changed person to how I once knew them. And this is a very real thing, how the law of thought transmission works. People are receiving your thoughts about you and about them. So if you think, oh, this person doesn't like me, the more you think that, the more you will see that be your reality. Whatever you believe in confidence will happen. So if you generally believe this person despises you, you will see that. So what I did, going back to the first circumstance, was I imagined them actually telling me positive words. Now, I did no way believe this at first. I was like, no. For years and years, they told me, no, I couldn't do it. But this time, I imagined them saying something differently to me. I saw their face, I imagined their voice saying it lovingly towards me. And guess what happened? They said exactly what I thought they would say. And I was shocked. I was very shocked, and I was taken back, and I was like, whoa, this is not how they normally act. And this is the thing about a mental diet. You need to persist and persist and persist. At first I didn't believe it, but the more I persisted, the more I did this imaginary scene, imagining this person to say exactly what I wanted them to say to me, even though it was completely out of their character, because I changed how I perceived them, that person also changed. When you change your perception on things, the things that you view also change. And it's more than a psychological thing, it's more than that. It's actually manifestation. I'm selecting a different version of them, okay? And you, right now, whatever you're trying to manifest, I want to tell you, let me be your confirmation. You will manifest it. Just the expectation that you think that it isn't going to work out, that's why it doesn't work out. So like I say to all my Master Manifestor students who are inside my workshop in the description below, the students in there are completely changing their lives forever. And the reason why is because when you expect different, when you expect people to say loving things about you, people show up differently. And so people ask me, Charlotte, what do I do? How do I ignore the 3D when my SP says this? Imagine your specific person texting you, saying something lovingly towards you. So for example, there was this other circumstance where someone who I had imagined them as a type of person who would never text first, I stopped texting them. Remember, because I held this assumption that those are just the type of people that never text first, they never texted me first until I changed my thoughts about that person, and the way that person showed up also changed. Why? Because people are reflecting your beliefs about them back to you. You believe that they're not going to text you first, or you believe that they're going to find someone better, they will find someone better, okay? I, in the past, had the story that this person was going to leave me because I'm too good enough for them. And you know what? Because they had lots of problems, and I was almost like the therapist, and I kept on assuming, well, he's going to think I'm too good enough for him, and he's going to run away because he's going to feel guilty. And I created this whole story that wasn't even true at the time. Because I believed in it, it manifested. And this is the thing. Manifestation is neutral, right? It's us that put the negative or positive thing onto it. But understand, manifestation is always happening, and you have to control what you're assuming to be true. That's the key of manifestation. Therefore, the point of this video is, if you want to completely change your life, you have to ignore what is currently going on. You are here and you're changing your self-concept. That's great, right? But what happens to a lot of people is when they first start getting into self-concept work, they're like, Charlotte, like, still things are happening in my physical reality that I don't like, and I'm not manifesting this, right? And I say to them, well, that's the old story being played out. The old story is what you don't want to manifest, right? The old story is your old thoughts, your old belief systems being being watered out, and you're seeing it happen in your physical reality. The worst thing you could do is react to it, because every single time you react to it, and what does a reaction actually mean? So if I see that my specific person doesn't text me, if I start doing this, which I used to do, and which probably a lot of you are doing, is like, okay, I check my phone, oh my god, he hasn't texted me, oh my god, he doesn't like me, oh, text me again, that's it, I'm gonna block him, I am going to block him because he obviously hates me, oh my god, why does this always happen, they always leave me, blocks, and then boom, that's a physical reaction. And that whole reaction was based on someone with a low self-concept. That person who does that, who I used to do that. I used to start spiraling and being like, oh, they don't like me now. When instead, nowadays, I just be like, they're busy. Your perception on things is what creates reality. The first version of me, if you think that they don't like you, that ghosting you on purpose, because you have so much confidence in that assumption, it will manifest, and that person will tell you that. But the same way, if you are like, no, they're just busy, of course they still like me, you will also see that result being played out. Both, and it truly is, what you are assuming to be true about you and your life is exactly what will show up in your physical reality. So the point of this video is, do not react. I really recommend grabbing my Master Manifestor workshop, linked in the description, and that will 1,000,000% change your life for the better, because it's going to wake you up. It will wake you up and realize that you are a master manifestor. The world is your oyster and you are the one creating it. You are the magician. Okay, so do not react to it. If something happens, the worst thing you could do is completely spiral and react to it and be like, oh no, why is everything not working out in my favor? No, what we do as master manifestors is we are like, okay, we observe it, we don't react to it, and reacting to it means you emotionalize it. Why would I react to that? That's a physical manifestation of my old assumptions. And every single time you don't focus your energy on that whatever's been blocking you or whatever's been taking your attention, if you take your attention away from it, this thing over here falls away. You know why? It doesn't have your attention anymore. Okay, so if you want to manifest more things, more money, start being grateful for the money that you have and put your attention into what you do have, and start feeling what you want to feel. Feel the future before it actually happens. So start feeling excited, start feeling abundant. And the quickest way on how you can hack these good emotions is gratitude. You are alive. You have not even lived your best days yet. Think about that. You've not even lived your best days yet. They are yet to come. So be grateful that you will experience that. Be that you're the sweetest human being on this earth. Be grateful, because gratitude is an attractor. Gratitude is like a magnet, and gratitude is a magnet. It pulls things in. If you're grateful for having X, Y, and Z, you'll attract more of. Why? Because it's the energy of the law of increase. Wherever your focus goes, energy will flow. Even the best case scenario, expect people to say exactly what you want them to say, and say it so much, rehearse it, imagine it, visualize it so much, hear it, affirm it so much, so that it becomes normal to you. And so when they do say it to you, you're like, whoa, you just manifested that. Because we don't manifest what we want, we manifest what feels normal to us. Make it normal to you and watch it be your physical reality. Okay, so I'll give you a little bit of a story time as well. Over here, I have many goals, and one of them was to hit a 5k month. Now this was like a few years ago, and I had never hit a 5k month before, and I just wrote it down. But when I was writing it, I was like, wow, this is like, if I hit this, I'm gonna be like, whoa, like that's gonna be amazing. And I felt amazing, I felt abundant then, and then I manifested it. And you see, I will consistently manifest every single thing I want because I imagine it. And I write it down and I make it a reality. I have vision boards. My whole bedroom is a physical manifestation. I create a vision board, and whether you know it or not, it's constantly impressing the idea of exactly what you want to manifest inside your mind. So ignore the physical reality. Charlotte, how do I ignore it? Well, how do you go on a diet? How do you not eat donuts? You just don't pick it up. You just don't put it in your mouth. You take an alternative. Okay, you distract yourself. That's an alternative. Oh no, my SBS hasn't texted me. Get busy with life. Why are you so focused on it? Why? You've got a life here. There's so much for you to be doing. There's so much to do. There's so much that you can do. So feel good. Feel the excitement. Be grateful. Be grateful. Okay? That's how you can manifest whatever you want. That's how you can ignore circumstances. Just don't pick up the donut. Charlotte, how do I go on a diet? You just don't eat, you know, the sugary food and X, Y, and Z. I don't know much about diets. My face started clearing up. Now I know that I've got a filter on right now, but my face actually did start clearing up. You know why? Because I started assuming it. Face is always clear, and it did. It is a very real thing. So, what are you expecting out of life? What are you assuming? What are you giving your attention to? Because whatever you give attention to will manifest more of. This is a video that will completely change your life, and if you listen to it over and over again, you will realize there's so much gold in this video that you just unlock treasure. So make sure you subscribe, and if you want to know more manifestation secrets, go ahead and grab a manifestation workshop in the description below, and let's make each other happy. Go join my beautiful community, and I'll see you inside Master Manifestors. Keep manifesting and follow for more.